heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? So I heard an interview the other day. It was yesterday. I forget which channel, man. I forget. Maybe I'll leave it in the comments section if I remember. But anyways, I heard a video where Deontay Wilder was saying that he doesn't do much road work, doesn't watch tape of his opponents. And I was just reading the comments from fans, man. A lot of fans believe that they can't believe that he doesn't do, a lot of cardio work. A lot of fans are saying that they don't, they couldn't believe that he doesn't watch tape. And they think that these two things may lead his path to his downfall one day. And to me, it's like, if he's going to lose a fight, he's going to lose a fight. Whether he's watching 1 million hours of tape or running, 1 million miles a week. What I mean? When you lose, you're going to lose. All right. But now with that said, I don't take too much into it, man. I remember, there's amateurs out there that don't go on YouTube and type in their opponents. You know what I mean? So this is nothing new. I always hear fighters say this, man, that they don't watch tape. And mainly because you can watch tape, and like Deontay Wilder said, you can watch tape all you want. But on fight night, you may see a totally different guy. Now, on the flip side of that, if I was training a guy and I was his trainer, now the fighter and the trainer is different. Maybe Breland's watching and Diaz, maybe they're watching a whole bunch of tape. You know what I mean? But you can watch tape all day and a different fighter may show up. But at the same time, though, on the flip side, you can pick up on another fighter's tendencies, the way they react to jabs, the way they react to right hands, the way they react when they get hurt. Do they circle to their left majority of the time? Do they circle to their right majority of the time? Just different things. Do they go straight back in lines as far as their footwork? Are they flat-footed? I mean, there's different things you can pick up. But like Deontay said, though, on fight night, you could fight a totally different fighter. He may be a totally different guy when he fights you. So I can see it both ways. I expect the trainers, though, to do more of the film studies and then incorporate whatever they saw as far as flaws. And even some of the strengths from the opponent, they incorporate something into the workout the next day in the gym. So I expect the trainer to be on top of that. But as far as the fighter, yeah, I've heard a lot of fighters say this. So Deontay's not the only one. I've heard very successful fighters say it. And I've heard guys who's never won world titles say it. So every fighter is different, man. Then there's some guys that do nothing but study their fighters. I remember Emmanuel Stewart. What training camp was this? It was I want to say Jermaine Taylor. It was one of the times he was training Jermaine Taylor. And Emmanuel was famous for having, if you were in the ring, shadow boxing or sparring or whatever, or not sparring, but shadow boxing, just warming up, getting loose, he would play video of your opponent's fights while you're in the ring, just so you can have something to watch as you're, warming up or loosening up. I remember he was doing that for a Jermaine Taylor camp. I forgot what fighter that they were looking at that he had on the screen, but I've heard Emmanuel Stewart used to do that a lot. So it doesn't hurt to watch tape, but I don't necessarily think it's necessary. I mean, because a lot of times, even like I said, growing up, even when these guys come up in the amateurs, there's some days you don't know who you're gonna fight. There may be some kid from across the country you never heard of. You got to get in there with them and fight anyways. And I believe you have to be able to adapt sometimes, man. So. And fighters, a great fighter is able to adapt and able to adjust. So you're going to have to be able to do that. So you might watch something and come in and then come in on fight night. The guy's not doing what you saw him do on those videos. You could watch his whole damn career and he's fighting a totally different fight against you. And you might not know how to adjust because you watch so much tape. It's foreign to you now. What he's doing is just something that you wasn't expecting him to do. So, but I do expect trainers to watch tape though. And if the fighter does it, cool. If you don't do it, cool. Now, as far as him and his, Deontay said that he was born with stamina, so he doesn't need to run and do a whole bunch of road work. Again, James Toney. Now, some of you may say, oh, look how fat James Toney was late in his career. No wonder why he didn't do road work. Now, me personally, I think road work is key. Now, I know Deontay Wilder, he's the belt holder. Who am I? I'm a guy on YouTube. Fine. But I believe road work is key. And I've been around trainers and other professional fighters that are key on doing road work. James Toney, let me get back to James now. Like with him, his thing was just sparring. He just wants to spar. And I keep going back to him, but man, Emmanuel Stewart used to drop so many jewels. I remember he said the best way really to get ready for a fight is sparring. Out of all the workouts you can do, running, hitting the bag, hitting the mitts, shadow boxing, everything you can do, the number one thing that'll get you prepared for a fight is sparring. Not to say that other things can't add to you getting into shape and to better your stamina and your cardio, but sparring was the big thing. And I remember James Toney would say that. There's a few other fighters I've heard say, you know, I just like to spar, man. You know what I mean? So, but I do believe road work is key, man. I think every fighter should do road work. There's nothing, you know, you can say that you're born with stamina and that's cool. Maybe he is, man. You know, I don't hang around Deontay Wilder 24/7 the last, 25 years of his life. I don't know. Maybe to him, he doesn't need to do a lot of cardio or a lot of running, because he didn't say cardio, but a lot of running. But me, I do believe road work is key. I just think it makes, it gives you better win, man. It just gives you better win. And it's something that I think that every fighter needs. If I was training a fighter, you're getting up running. Like, I'm going to make you run as your trainer. And we know if you're really committed to the game, you don't need your trainer to make you run. Any fighter that's committed, they do that stuff on their own regardless. But just my opinion, like I said, I'm just a guy behind a computer. This guy holds the WBC green belt. So what the hell do I know at the end of the day, right? Just get us out there. I'd like to know what you guys think about this, about what Deontay Wilder had to say. I can't wait for the fight Saturday, man. So I'm out.